Ever imagined an unfinished building as a tourist destination? It's almost unimaginable, but that is the reality of the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. Barcelona is a city known for its regimented city blocks and wide linear streets, standing apart from the narrow, winding streets found in many other European cities. And within this structured urban landscape lies some of the world's most extraordinary and beautiful buildings, one of which is the century-old building Sagrada Familia. Join us as we delve into the story behind the development and the mysteries of the Sagrada Familia that has left it uncompleted till this day. The Sagrada Familia is a truly exceptional temple that presents itself as a work of evolution. It is a colossal, intricate structure shaped by the laws of nature. The colossal structure, which is the only one of its kind, gives credit to the master architect of Barcelona, Antoni Gaudí. And this wasn't his first work. Gaudí has created many structures in the past that are some of Barcelona's most notable tourist attractions today. A few of them are the Casa Milla and the Casa Batlló, and all of these architectural wonders are within a short walk of each other. Gaudí wasn't merely a master architect. His approach involved the challenges of an artist and engineer combined. His structures are distinguished by their complex, unconventional curves that defy conventional architectural norms. And to make them, he comprehended how organic shapes influenced the structural stability of his buildings and allowed physics and nature to dictate his designs. The trademark of Gaudí was that his buildings were a profound celebration of nature, a tribute to life, and an homage to the God he devoted his life to. Instead of opposing nature, Gaudí harmonized with them, bringing the realms of art and science in a manner unparalleled before his time. He realized that nature itself adhered to the laws of mathematics, and this, to him, was the ultimate form of honoring God. And that was his master idea behind the Sagrada Familia. It is characterized by columns mirroring trees and skeletons, arches echoing rib cages, seashell-inspired spiral stairways, spires resembling crystals, and ceilings rivaling the beauty of forest canopies. And these designs all find their roots in natural phenomena. He observed that nature itself had discovered these complex structures through millennia of trial and error. Natural arches, for example, arise from random processes, with weaker formations collapsing before they are ever witnessed. Similarly, plants have evolved to possess cells capable of sensing gravity's direction to guide their growth patterns, and bone cells respond to stress by growing and multiplying. Nature represents the epitome of intelligent design, and Gaudí adopted a simple concept to emulate these designs in his work. But the most surprising story behind this structure is that Gaudí isn't the original creator. Actually, the construction of the Sagrada Familia commenced in 1882 under the guidance of architect Francisco de Paula del Villar. However, just a year later, del Villar resigned, paving the way for Gaudí to take over the project. By then, Gaudí had already recognized the potential of the project, and he set out to make it his masterpiece. He transformed the undertaking by infusing it with his distinctive style, blending elements of Gothic and Art Nouveau architecture to create something entirely unique. Antoni Gaudí's original plan envisioned the construction of 12 towers in remembrance of the disciples, 4 to honor the evangelists, 1 dedicated to Mary, and another in reverence to Jesus. And the height of each tower was to be determined by the religious significance they represent. Stepping into the Sagrada, visitors are greeted by these massive towers and a kaleidoscope of colors streaming through the stained glass windows. Each window depicts stories from the Bible, saturating the interior with hues reminiscent of rainbows, sunsets, and light piercing through a verdant forest canopy. The Sagrada Familia, which was proclaimed a minor basilica in 2010, boasts of 3 emblematic facades, which are the Nativity facade, Glory facade, and the Passion facade. The Nativity facade symbolizes the birth of Christ and is adorned with intricate decorations, radiating vitality and splendor. And the Glory facade serves as the principal facade. The grand and expansive structure signifies Jesus' death, resurrection, and his enduring divine legacy. But the Passion facade is the most important and is like a mystery straight out of a Dan Brown novel. This facade is devoted to depicting the death of Christ and is intentionally designed to exude an austere and minimalist aesthetic. It is characterized by its unadorned stone surface, stark geometric shapes, and sharp lines that evoke the appearance of a skeletal structure. And in contrast to the Nativity facades, it incorporates fewer sculptures. But the mystery of this facade is its 4x4 magic square that has left people perplexed. Some have observed that the magic constant, the sum of the numbers in a row or column, adds up to 33, symbolizing the age of Christ at the time of his crucifixion. Others speculate that the number 33 may have ties to Gaudi's Freemason associations. However, Gaudi carried the secret of the magic square in this facade to his tomb, leaving an intriguing enigma for others to theorize about, thus giving rise to various conspiracies. Each of the 3 facades comprises 4 towers, totaling 12 towers, symbolizing the apostles of Jesus Christ. Adjacent to these towers, near the center of the church, stand 6 taller towers, with 4 dedicated to the evangelists. These 4 towers share the same height and design characteristics. They encircle a central tall tower, which symbolizes Jesus. This central tower will elevate the structure's height to 560 feet, making it the tallest church in Europe. The 6th tower is positioned at the northernmost point and is slightly shorter than the Evangelists' towers. However, it is more robust and represents the Virgin Mary. The Tower of Jesus will be crowned with a cross, while the other structures will feature distinct symbols. The towers on the 3 primary facades would also bear episcopal symbols. Beyond these 18 towers, the church also included additional smaller pinnacles, each adorned with various religious symbols, like sheaves of wheat and bunches of grapes, symbolizing the Eucharist. The rest of Gaudi's life was devoted to sculpting this model, designing the intricate facades, and adding details that the world has come to appreciate. As the project continued over the years, Gaudi withdrew from public life, rejecting any additional projects. In fact, he became so dedicated that by 1914, he made his home within the Sagrada Familia workshop. He was so totally consumed by his obsession with this final masterpiece that he neglected his personal appearance and became a disheveled recluse. Most of his days were spent in prayer and overseeing the design and construction of the Sagrada Familia. However, his unfortunate death in 1926 brought the project to a halt. The city's residents paid their respects by burying his coffin in the crypt of the Sagrada Familia. But at the time of his death, the project was less than a quarter complete, and with the visionary behind the intricate project no longer present, its completion became an immense challenge. It grew even more daunting due to the outbreak of the Spanish Civil War in 1936. Anarchists destroyed the only existing models of Gaudi's designs and caused a tragic loss that could have led to the abandonment or alteration of the project's vision. But as Spain emerged from the ravages of post-war poverty in the 1950s, a new generation of engineers and craftsmen committed their skills to realizing Gaudi's vision. They employed tools and materials that Gaudi himself had never accessed. Efforts to reassemble the fragmented models proved challenging, as some pieces were severely damaged or entirely missing. Yet the architects who embraced Gaudi's legacy worked with what they had. This marks the point where the real story of the Sagrada Familia takes center stage. A construction project spanning not just generations of engineers, but also generations of technological advancement. In Gaudi's time, his primary challenge was to work with the limitations of his primary building material, Montjuic stone, a type of sandstone. Like all stone, it is strongest in compression, able to withstand tremendous pressure when placed in compression, but vulnerable to cracks and fractures when subjected to tension. Constructing stone structures successfully primarily hinges on maintaining the stone in a state of compression at all times. However, he solved this problem by aiming to ensure that the stones remained in compression, not tension. To achieve this, he employed a simple yet ingenious technique. He took photographs and flipped them upside down. The process began by sketching the church's footprint at a 1:10 scale on a wooden board. Then, he established anchor points for the strings in locations where he intended to position support columns, and gradually, he added strings and weights. The weight was adjusted to account for the difference in stiffness between the string and the rocket represented. He fine-tuned this string model for a decade until he was satisfied with its final form. Then he used this model as the foundation for his architectural design work, which can be seen in a reconstructed model beneath the Sagrada Familia, where the shape of the building begins to take form. Currently, thanks to technological advancements and employment of the CNC machines in cutting the stones, the construction process has been considerably expedited. These machines precisely cut the stone to the required specifications, ensuring perfect fits between pieces and internal steel supports. Instead of assembling the towers stone by stone, as was done in Gaudi's time, today's workers use tensioned steel bars running through the stone centers to compress them together into larger panels. Additionally, 3D modeling software has gradually caught up with Gaudi's visionary designs. The most prominent problem which the Sagrada Familia faced for decades was financial setback. The construction process relied primarily on donations to the church, and in the project's early stages, these donations trickled in slowly. However, today, The church benefits from ample funding as one of the world's most popular tourist attractions. Opening its doors to the public has generated a steady and reliable stream of income, funding the materials and labor required to complete the construction. With all these advances, the Sagrada Familia is now projected to be completed much sooner than initially anticipated, with the target set for 2026, marking the 100th anniversary of Gaudi's passing. And although the building has inevitably deviated from Gaudi's original designs, there is no doubt that Gaudi would be proud to see his creation nearing its finishing. The Sagrada Familia serves as the ultimate celebration of spirituality through its profound reverence for nature and creation. So, what do you think of Antoni Gaudi's master structure? Is it truly the one-of-a-kind Art Nouveau building that everyone says it is? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.